And I'm back. What I got here today is I got a Mazda 5 2006, and I'm noticing the brake pedal is a little harder to push than usual. And usually what that indicates is the booster, the brake booster has a defect in it. Now, I changed the brake booster in this maybe just a year ago. So if it's that, it could be that, and you know, that would be unfortunate to have to change that again, because I think it's probably off the 1-year warranty that they usually come with. And or maybe something's dragging in here, maybe my calipers are sticking a bit. So I'm gonna take a look and see what's going on. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the vacuum hoses that go to the brake booster. Now, in this car here, the brake booster is way back here against the firewall, way in there. You can almost not get to it. You have to take the battery out and everything to get to this on this car. But I'm just gonna check the vacuum hoses, make sure there's nothing that looks weird. And because it runs on vacuum, engine vacuum, that's what makes the brake easier to push. Vacuum operates on one side of a diaphragm in there, and your brake master cylinder is on the other side. And when you press on your pedal, the vacuum assist helps make it easier to push that plunger into the brake master cylinder, making the brakes easier to push. And if that fails, you've seen it, you know, if you've seen it when your engine stopped, when you're driving, how hard it is to push the brakes. So I'm almost at that again here today, and I'm really hoping it's not that booster. I think we got a problem with, we got a leak somewhere. This is the brake reservoir, and it's way down. It's way down, so let's see if we've got a leak somewhere. Okay, so the first thing I want to do was I wanted to go around all 4 wheels and check for brake fluid, see if there's anything leaking. So what I wanted to do first was just loosen the lug nuts in case I had to take the wheels off. So I was using this X wrench here. And you can see there I broke the end off. And the way I broke that off is those were so tight. I had this long pipe on it. See here? I just dug that out of the scrap. And anyway, broke that off. Some cheap thing anyway, but on its own, this little wrench was kind of short. You know, I couldn't get any torque on it. Anyway, with the pipe, I got them all loosened, except for a couple. And then what I did was I just went back in the trunk here and I got the factory one, and that worked with the pipe on it. Okay, so got the vehicle up there in the jack. I got a jack stand under it. And that caliper looks dry. I don't see any fluid leaking out there anywhere. Let me see. I mean, there's water on the highway today, so there would be some moisture under here, but it's not brake fluid necessarily. On this side here, the caliper looks dry on this side, and the hose looks dry where I can see it, so I don't think we're losing anything there. Now, sometimes the lines that join the brake hoses together can develop a leak. Okay, let's go check the front. Okay, I got the passenger side front wheel off. And let's take a look here, see if we see any fluid. Nothing on the top. It's just wet water up there splashed up from the road. I don't think that's brake fluid. Let's see underneath here. I don't see any brake fluid leaking out there either. Okay, let's check the other side. Yeah, and this is the driver's side. And that looks good. I mean, that's water up on there, but I don't see any brake fluid here anywhere. So what I'm guessing is that fluid has just fallen a little bit as the pads wear, and the fluid has been replacing the volume created in behind the piston, the caliper piston. So that might be okay. Now, I found a couple of things in here I don't like at all. Look at this. Now, I put brand new lower control arms in not 2 years ago. And I also changed these little struts that go to the anti-sway bar. And that one there, you can see, you can hear it. That one's loose already. And worse than that, and I was looking under here, so you can see it here. Here. Worse than that, see right here, this ball joint. See the gap between the flange on the ball joint and the bottom of the lower control arm? See that gap? So that ball joint's loose in the lower control arm. That's a kit I bought. It came with the lower control arm with the lower ball joint. But I'm getting rid of that. I mean, I might have to change the whole control arm, but I'm hoping just to put a ball joint in there. But that's not good. See how that's out? See the tapered gap there? That's bad. Okay, so I don't have a leak that I can find. I did just top off the reservoir. Now on this car, there's a reservoir up here that you keep the level in, and there's another reservoir here fed by that one, this little one down here, and this is chock full. And that sits right over the master cylinder right there. And I believe I put a new master cylinder in this car 2 years ago when I changed the booster. So, I mean, man, if they only last that long. The other thing I checked was the vacuum hose that goes from the front of the booster there. You see that little gray bushing right there that takes the line into the booster. And I followed it all the way up here. It comes down into the intake manifold right here. And that looks fine. But, you know, and the engine's running fine. You know, it doesn't seem like it's got a vacuum leak. You know, so if I had a vacuum leak and the engine was, you know, idling poorly or stuff like that, I'd suspect that the vacuum's not going to the booster the way it should. But so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive it the way it is for now. And now that I've checked everything, there's no leaks that I can see. I'm going to keep an eye on the fluid. And if I have to order another booster, that's going to be, I'm going to probably have to call the guy I bought the part from and see if there's a warranty on that beyond, you know, I can't remember exactly when it was, but it's less than 2 years, you know, since I changed that booster. And it was either a new or a rebuilt booster, you know, like a brand name rebuild. And I think the master cylinder was as well. So, you know, I'm not happy with that if that's failed already. I mean, we haven't, I don't know, maybe put, I don't know, what, 10,000 miles on this car maybe since then. So I'll get back to you with an update in a week or so and let you know what I'm going to have to do. And if I do have to do the repair, I'll show you how to do that. Anyway, that's how that goes. Sometimes the cookie crumbles that way. That just clips down in there like that. Okay, that's how that's done. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.